Hey guys, guess what? Terri Clark will be performing at Buffalo Run Casino and Resort on Wednesday night, and it's time to announce some winners from our OzarksFirst.com/contest winners.
Let's do it.
Should we do it? Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
Winner number one, drum roll please. Tony Jackson.
Woo! Tony.
Oh, Tony. Congrats, my friend.
Tony Jackson.
Tony Jackson seeing Terri Clark. Our next winner is, drum roll please, Brandon Peterson.
Brandon Peterson.
Oh, gosh. Can I just say I like all these names because they're easy to pronounce.
I appreciate it.
I love this.
Yeah.
Our third winner is, drum roll please, Jennifer Care. Jennifer.
Jennifer, is it Care or Kerr?
Oh.
I would say Kerr.
I just bragged on how easy they were.
Occurred to me.
Kerr. Oh,
Yeah.
Kerr.
Oh, Kerr.
Oh, Kerr.
Right.
Jennifer Kerr. Sorry about that, Jennifer. And our final winner is Jeff Brunet. Jeff Brown. I'm kidding, guys. Jeff Brown.
Yes, congratulations to everyone.
I was like, I'm on a roll. I might as
You
well
would
mess it
say
up.
that right before. I know. That's so funny.
I'm so sorry. Congrats to all of our winners.
Congrats. Oh, it's going to be a great concert. And
so
she is so nice. Can I just say, she is just such
Remind me to tell you something in the commercial, and then we'll tell the viewers afterwards, but I want them to see it first. But I got to tell you something.
Okay.
Jake told me. Yes.
Okay, very good. Speaking of Terri Clark, we recently visited with her via Zoom, and she is as nice as she is talented. Take a look.
Terri Clark will be at Buffalo Run Casino and Resort on Wednesday, April 20th at 8 p.m. And we are so excited to welcome the country superstar herself, Terri Clark from Nashville. And Terri, can I just say, I've got nothing better to do here than talk to you today.
You got, I see you there.
See what I did there?
See, I thought about that too, but listen, it's really pretty important talking to her today.
I know. I said, I'd rather be here with you than anywhere else, Terri.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I've got nothing better to do than talk to you guys.
Thank you.
We're so excited you're coming. How does it, okay, you know, musicians, the COVID happened. Everybody's at home. You're used to being on tour. What did you do? How did that affect you?
I watched a lot of Netflix.
Good for you.
Honestly, I felt a little bit of a, and it was hard for me to even talk about this because so many people struggle so much through COVID financially in their businesses. But for me, having been on the road nonstop since 1995 and consistently touring, never unpacking my suitcase, really, it came as a bit of a welcome pause the first 4 or 5 months. And then as it dragged on and we got past a year into a year and a half, I was like, oh my God, all right already, this is enough. And I have a radio show called Country Gold, and it's a 90s intensive show that's on over 200 stations a week. And during this entire shutdown, I was talking to my fellow artists, you know, on a weekly basis and interviewing them. And we were all in the same ship together, and just everybody was like, well, hopefully we'll get back out maybe in a couple months. And then it just kept extending and extending. So I think we're all very grateful to be back on the road finally.
Yeah, and you know, all the folks that come to see you feel the exact same way. Everybody's ready to get back out and see you and watch you perform. Terri, what is your favorite thing about being on stage? Is it the interaction, the energy? What is it?
The energy and the interaction. You hit the nail on the head. There's a connection with live music and an audience and an artist that just can't be really duplicated anywhere else. And as much as we all had to rely on virtual shows and live Facebook shows and things like that, it's just not the same thing.
Yeah.
It feels like you're having a bit of a one-sided conversation or talking to a wall, literally, because there's no energy exchange between this screen and yourself. And there's an intangible thing to being in the room with a live entertainer that your energy feeds that person. Yeah. So it's it was definitely operating with a handicap, so to speak, for all of us. But I think it gave us an appreciation for live performing once we did finally get back to it, that maybe a lot of us didn't have as much before, especially the seasoned artists who had been on the road for 25 or 30 years and were like, oh, I'm so tired. And everything sort of like one hotel started looking like the next, and then, you know, complaining about the catering because it wasn't as good in this place. I mean, that's off the table now. I'll never complain about catering.
Gives you a different
happy to be there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still enjoy, you know, you hear a lot of artists say, oh, I never want to sing that song again.
Yeah.
Do you still love performing like the hits that people love and expect? Do you still get the same thrill performing those?
I do, because people's reaction is like, oh, there's my favorite song.
Yes.
I have a question about that too.
So
Do you sing it
excited.
the same way? Do you sing it the same way as on the record, or do you like to play around with it?
I sing it very consistently every night, and it's very much like the record. I have always been one of these people, when I go see a concert of an artist that I like who has a string of hits, I'm like, don't riff on that. I just want to, can you just play it the way that I remember it? Like,
We're applauding you, Terri Clark.
You, Terri.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that. That's what we want to hear. I'm just
We
saying.
feel the same way.
Because we want to sing with you. And we don't know when you're going to take off on a riff.
Exactly. Yeah. I think people want to sing along, and there's a comfort and familiarity to a lot of people, and they want that. They're coming to my show at this point because I represent a certain amount of nostalgia in their past and their life, and my music, as well as a lot of my peers' music, is definitely a part of that tapestry of people's past, of their college days, of their high school days, of their 4-H days, whatever it may be. There's a memory there for somebody, and I don't want to take that memory and twist it into the melody that I want to sing. I just want to.
Terri, can I just tell you my memory? Yeah. My memory is me and my best friend Lori in high school driving in her car till I got better things to do. Okay, that is my memory, and you can't take it away from me, and I love it.
I will not take that away from you. I promise, Terri.
And I have sung your songs on stage too, and so that is so fun. We really
look at that.
Yeah, in Branson. Yeah.
I'm curious, Terri.
Karaoke.
You have been, in the music business so long. Do you have like a famous country BFF, like in the business? Who's your BFF? I'm curious. Like who would we know?
I hate to drop names.
Please drop them. Drop them, Terri.
I have several friends in the business that I love who are also artists. I'll say Reba, who is one. I'm actually having dinner with her tonight.
Awesome.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I haven't seen her in years. It's been a while. Ashley McBride is a really good friend of mine, close friend of mine. Aaron Enderlin, who's a singer-songwriter, another good friend. Tennille Arts. Paul Brandt, a lot of the Canadian artists, Gord Bamford. I just got up and sang with Dallas Smith. Trace Adkins is a good friend. Like I have friends in the industry, and we don't see each other that often, but I would consider them all friends. But Ashley and I probably spend more time together than anybody else.
That's amazing.
And one thing I'm always, you're Canadian, right?
Yes.
Yes. How come all Canadians can sing? Yeah. They're so good.
They're so good.
Yeah, so fantastic.
They can't. Trust me. I know some who can't. So I just
all right.
Hey, quick question. Do you know Jan Arden?
Very well. She's another very good friend of mine. Yes.
Awesome.
We love her too. She's been on our show before, and we love her as well. So
isn't her TV show fantastic?
Yeah.
I love her. We all do.
I'm so proud of Jan. She's just hilarious. She's doing so well.
Yeah, very
and we love you, Terri.
Well, we look forward to having you here in our neck of the woods on April 20th, and we are going to love your big cowboy hat. I don't know how that originated, but we're glad that you have it. We love it.
Your big country hat will
big
be
old
there.
country hat. We like it.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Terri.
Thank you guys so much.
She was fun.
She was so nice. We could have talked to her for
forever. Down to earth. Liked her a lot.
Oh my gosh, so nice. And you never know what to expect going into celeb interviews, So you never know. But she was like, I like when they're real people and just talking.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was so nice.
I hope she didn't take offense to her hat, because I like that big hat.
Oh, I do too.
That is her kind of
her trademark.
Her trademark.
Like what's his name's trademark is the bandana with the long hair.
Oh,
the guy, the rocker guy.
Oh, Brett Michaels. Brett Michaels.
Yeah.
Now listen, I did like the Rock of Love.
I know you did. But here's the thing. I'm not condoning violence, but I want somebody to snatch that bandana off his head. I want to see what's under there. I just want to see.
Well, he struggles with diabetes. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he does, and that's a tough life for a rocker, because alcohol and diabetes don't go very well together, and he's talked about that.
That's
and
terrible.
how,
Look how we sidetracked from Terri
Look how
Clark.
we sidetracked. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Go. Can they still register?
I don't know if they can still register, but she will be at Buffalo Run Casino Resort on the 20th. So go see Terri Clark. You're gonna have a great time. She is just as nice. I can only imagine her in concert.
Oh, she's gonna be so fun. Absolutely.
Yes.